I used to be the guy like, no, I'm gonna dictate my own life. Whatever I want to do, Paj will do whatever Paj wants to do. And Paj doesn't need God or anybody else. That was me back in the day, you know. And I got ego checked by God. Man, we're here, bro.
Yes, sir.
We got, every time we step away to, you know, do life, it's like 20 doors opened up. And it's like, hey.
I read this saying the other day, say, old keys can't open up new doors.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
100%.
So when you lay down that old negative, that old whatever, and now you got new opportunities.
Shed that stuff.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, one of the cool things was the media thing.
Yep.
We got to tell them about that. I mean, that's amazing. Yeah. You know more at this point than me. So
yes, this is brand new, and by the time this airs, it'll be up and running and live. But like I told you, first thing I do when I wake up is pray. And my prayers, it's like I'm talking to you. I'm basically asking God to, give me His protection, watch over my family, all that type of stuff. But also to guide me on His path. You know what I'm saying? I'm 58, so I done enough of my own thinking, of my own, you know what I'm saying? So now I'm I'd like some supernatural assistance because, I really don't have time to be messing up no more.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
No.
So anyway, now when he downloads something, I immediately take action. Normally I would let a thought come in my head and then it'll pop out and then it'll be gone. But lately, I've just been acting on it as soon as it comes. So last night, I'm riding in the car, and I was like, I need to call my boy Billy. Now, I hadn't talked to Billy since his brother died, right? And he didn't come to the funeral, so I didn't get to see him. I just talked to him on the phone. Right. He lives in Michigan. So I called him, and he's like, Billy was 550 pounds.
He's tall too, right?
He's 6'5".
Yeah.
Now he's like 470 something like that. Don't quote me on that. He's like in the mid fours.
Big guy.
Right. And he's been, last time I talked to him, his brother passed of a heart attack. So we're talking about healthy and healthy. And, I'm like, bro, ain't no old big people, bro. None. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no, you know what I'm saying?
100. So
I'm like, you need to do something. So he's been doing stuff and he's lost like 75, 80 pounds. So now he's like, man, I'm ready to get serious now because he sent me. We did a FaceTime. He's seen, man, he looks good.
Okay.
Like, he really does. I'm like, well, because he said he wanted to get down to 320, and I was 320 before, and that's massive.
Yeah.
But if you've been 550, 320 is you slim.
You're skinny. You're like, I feel so.
We start talking. We start talking about documenting the process that we about to go through. And then he was like, man, I was just about to, he says, crazy that you called me. He said, I was looking at doing this television network situation, blah, 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 blah. And, of course, my antenna.
Yeah. What's that?
And then I was like, what are you talking about? And so anyway, long story short, tonight, which, like I say, by the time this airs,
live, we'll be running,
Tonight we going to jump it off. And, man, that's going to be insane. Because now we get to of course we got the podcast, but there's so many other things that are non-podcasts that we're doing. We got everything, the
nutrition,
health and wellness
company,
stuff,
the
real
longevity,
estate, the financial literacy, the fitness, the bodybuilding, the coaching, so now having an actual streaming network, basically, that's gonna be nuts. I'm looking forward to that.
Which is great because it's exciting. This is what's exciting for me is that we have a network where we can dictate the content that we show, right? And our mentality is just to give as much as we can, just to knowledge and guidance and direction and whatever we can, right? Like our intentions are always to make people grow. Like that's our intentions. Our intention is not to make ourselves grow, and that's why we're growing, honestly, because I believe the more we're giving, the more these doors are just opening up. It's crazy. And then because I know you're the same way. Things will happen. Like I'll do one good deed, right?
100.
And then all of a sudden, it's like, hey, Tony, we just landed the $5 million deal, man. Like, you know what I mean? It's like,
right.
It's and I just gave $500 to like somebody.
Yeah.
It's like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like,
well, you know, I watched this video. Yeah, I watch a lot of YouTube. This girl was talking about her first business, right? She had I think she was doing hair, like
extensions or something.
All that stuff, hair stuff. And she said she was struggling, right? And then basically she was talking about seed time and harvest and how she, you know, gave it up to God and started praying, and then she opened up her first business, and she did $4.3 million in her first year. Right, and she said, you know, she prayed for something supernatural because she was struggling. She said, I want to know that it's coming from you. You know what I'm saying? I just thought that was really cool because something similar happened to me. And like, I literally used the words in my prayer. I want something supernatural. I want something that's unbelievable. Yeah.
Okay.
I said, I need this. Just you know, because it was a very trying time in my life. So I didn't want to be like, oh, that's just a coincidence.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I didn't want somebody else to be able to tell me.
Right.
Oh, that's just,
man,
you know.
that happened to me.
So I wanted something that was just so far over the top that I knew, and it's happened several times. So I was like, okay, I got super confirmation.
I've never asked for anything like verbatim supernatural, but I talk to, like, when we leave the studio and I'm driving, I'm not listening to music.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm talking to God. You know what I mean? And most of the time I'm saying, thank you for this, thank you for that, thank you, you know, like, please look out for my friends, my family. Like,
attitude of gratitude.
Right. You know what I mean? Like, so I try to focus on doing that a lot. And and I used to never do that shit. I used to be the guy like, no, I'm going to dictate my own life. Whatever I want to do. Paj will do whatever Paj wants to do. And Paj doesn't need God or anybody else. That was me back in the day. You know? And I got ego checked by God. God was like, Paj gonna do it? All right.
Who was I talking to the other day? Telling me about how, Nick was talking about how God talked to you. He'll whisper to you at first. And then he'll, you know, a little louder. And he'll smack you upside the head with I got a visual on that because that's exactly how it happened.
Bro, it was like that, man. It was like literally. And then as soon as I remember the day I was like, okay, man, listen, my bad. You're right. It's not on me. It's on you.
Yeah.
Just show me.
Yeah.
Just show me the way. Whatever you show me, I'll go. Even if I don't think I should, I'm just gonna do it. And if it doesn't work out, then at least I know, right? So in my head, I was like,
well, because everything ain't for you now. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I know.
So if I tell them that too. Like, if it ain't for me, give me a sign. I'll give you a perfect example.
Yeah,
perfect example. So my old neighbor across the street, he's like number one house in the subdivision. You could put on his yard.
It's perfect.
Right? So in our whole cul-de-sac, everybody has been there for, I guess they've been there since they built the house in 2013. Yeah. So every time somebody new moves in, the staples that have been over there always go give like the new people a basket or something. Right. So they brought us one. I was like, wow, I ain't never brought us a little basket when my wife got diagnosed with cancer. I don't even know how they knew, but they brought a basket for her. I was like, wow, they be bringing little brownies and whatnot. But anyway, so the neighbor put his house up for sale, but he didn't put the sign in the yard. The other neighbor told me he was selling it. So I saw him out in the yard cutting grass one day, and I was like, man, I ain't even really ready to buy a house right now, but I'll buy that one.
I'll buy yours.
So I walk across the street and I'm like, I heard you selling. He was like, yeah. I said, what'd you want for it? Gave me the number. Yeah. I was like, cool.
Yeah.
I was like, and it was above market.
Right.
But he had just remodeled. I watched him do the roof, the paint, all that.
You've seen him do work on the house constantly.
To me, that fact that I saw it, I'm like, I'm going to get this man what he asked for.
Yeah.
So I immediately go in the house, call my lender, gave him my information, got approved. Right.
Yeah.
And so I had to go out of town, and so he said, we're having an open house on such and such a date, and I was like, okay, cool. I said, I'm gonna be out of town. Can I come just look over? I said, because I'm ready. I'll put it on the contract. Let me see it. I'll put it on the contract. That way you ain't even got to have that.
You don't have to worry about anything. Yeah.
So he's like, you can come over anytime. Just knock on the door. I'm like, cool. So my wife went home. So I said, I'll catch him later. Well, like maybe. So I got approved, right? And then I prayed to God. I said, God, if this is for us, for me, give me a sign. If it's not, give me a sign.
Right.
Right? So the next day, I'm going to the car and I see his wife in the driveway. And I'm like, hey, I forgot her name. I said, hey, I was talking to your husband the other day about the house, and he told me what y'all wanted. And I asked him, when can we come see it? So I said, so when can we come see it? Mm-hmm. She said, why don't you just wait to the open house? I was like, all right. She said, by the way, there's another house just like ours in the other cul-de-sac for sale. And I was like,
why are you telling me that? Like,
excuse me?
What's going on?
I said, why would you tell me about some other house when I said, I'm literally trying to not even get a U-Haul.
Right.
I want to take some dollies and go across the street with my shit. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Right. And I was like, thank you, God.
Yeah.
I took that as a sign. I'm like, if I'm trying to sell my house and I'm going to give you what you asked for.
Yeah. It's a done deal.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, why even have no house?
Exactly. So I know normally I would have just overlooked that and blew that off, but the day before, I prayed and asked for a sign.
Yeah.
Something obvious and blatant.
Yeah.
And there it was.
Dude, I was still, even, this is how stubborn I am, even with myself, okay? Even though I said, God help me and show me the path and I'll follow, I was like, all right, I'm going to follow, but I know I'm right. I know my way's better. But I'll try your way, right? And I started going that way, and then like every step I took, I was like, oh, wait a minute, what? And then the next one was like, oh, wait, what? This? What? I just met this guy. I just met this, and I just got this deal, and it just kept on. And like it was almost like God was like, here's another one, here's another one. When are you gonna trust me? Do you know what I mean? So then I was like, I remember like I had like when you have the breakdown moments in your life where you just like cry and you're like, why am I crying? I
had one this morning.
Legit, man. I was crying so hard and I was like, why am I crying? I was like, literally
I'm not crying, you're crying.
I swear to God. I was yelling to myself, by myself, why are you fucking crying? Why are you fucking crying? What are you crying about? Because I literally didn't even know why.
Right.
But I did know why. It's because I understood like, it's not me. It's not me.
It's none of us, bro.
No. And that's when everything changed. I was like, okay, all right. I'm going to do everything the way I thought I should never do. Right. I'm going to do the opposite of what I've always done.
Yep.
And I never looked back, man. And it's just been blessing and blessing and blessing. There's like hard times.
Intent is everything.
Yeah.
No, the hard times is to test you to make sure you locked in.
Right. And that's the thing. Like,
because it's easy. Like, everybody will be like, oh, thank you, when it's going good. But when it go hard, you'd be like, whoa, it's me. Why is this happening?
like that girl that was mad at Trump winning. Yeah. I mean, that's what it was, man. I mean, and I just never stopped. And I have, we're humans, so we have moments where I have moments where I revert back to the old me and go, I think this is better, and then I check myself. I'm like, no, this is not better.
Wow,
this is not better.
that old me thing, bro. I don't despise the old me because that is required in order to graduate to the next level. But man, like I think we was talking earlier with Corey about. The old me wouldn't have been no good to my wife when she was going through. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I'm so glad that I shared that and was able to regain my consciousness.
Right.
Because I think we all, especially when you end up getting what you want, I'm talking about of this world.
Oh, yeah.
Then your ego takes over, and then that has precedence. But then one day that's over, and now you like I was like when I had to stop bodybuilding, I was like, well, now what am I gonna do?
What's
you know what I'm
next?
saying? And I was like really mad at the world because I was injured, and like felt like the sport turned it back on me or whatever. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I was focused on that.
Right.
And then one day I just got so tired of being broke and upset and mad. I said, you know what? I can't let my circumstances control my happiness. And I chose happiness. And I've been on this path ever since. And it's been, like this. Not as much as like this, more like, bumping the road or whatever.
Yeah.
But, I don't want to go back. I really, I sleep very well at night. My conscience is clear, and it's all good.
Yeah, I mean, being on that side of the coin, not many people can even relate with us.
Well, I think a lot of people will assume, when we're talking about God, we're talking about religion.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about personal
connection,
God within me. Not, you know, I don't even go to church anymore. And not that there's nothing in church. I love church or whatever. But I am the temple. Mm-hmm. So in other words, if I'm not right on the inside, ain't no building or no congregation or no sermon going. I ain't gonna say it won't do me no good, but you could chalk it up as entertainment if my soul isn't right. Now, if I'm not connected to the source and understand where all my gifts and blessings come from, which I do thoroughly, now I know. And you know, I think every single person is going to have their own personal experience, because usually, you know, we're introduced to God through church and religion. It's almost like a force. Come on, go, you know, blah, blah, blah. And you end up never really, I ain't gonna say never, but you end up taking the long route to end up, you know,
some
having
people
a personal relationship.
just opposite happens. They feel like they're being forced. Yeah. So they go completely.
I did that.
Yeah.
I did that.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, for us, you know, when it's hard to say it any other way, right? If somebody's not attractive, okay, they can't relate to somebody who's attractive because the attractive person just gets different kind of attention. People just give you stuff for just because of the way you look. You know what I mean? An unattractive person could never understand what that even feels like, you know? And then when you have everybody doing that, anybody that walks in front of you, they want to give you something, or they're trying to get you, or they're trying to, you know what I mean?
Yeah. But it's the image that you're portraying.
Right.
It's not really you, because the image that they see, that they're perceiving, is probably not even you.
No.
Like I told you, many times I've had people stop me in mid-conversation and apologize to me for their thoughts about me. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, you are nothing like I thought you were. I owe you an apology. I'm like, well, they could have kept that inside their brain and never told me, and I would have never known the difference. But it was so, you know, I just impressed them in such a way that they weren't expecting. And they was just like, you know, I mean, I'm talking about, I can rattle off 10 or 15 times.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
where it happened, and I was just like, it started making me wonder. I'm like, well, what do people really, when they see me, what do they think? Well, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just going to run up to them, take your girl. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I'm not nowhere near like that. So it's a trip, but I had to like deal with that on a regular basis. Even still to this day, it's not as much anymore, because I'm not as imposing as I used to be. You know, I used to tell my sons, I was like, bro, they're going to hate you just breathing in and out. My son, Nico, especially, because Nico, he blossomed in so he started to blossom in high school. And I was like, nobody looks like you, bro. Nobody, I mean, what I'm saying, like, it's some other talented people, but I mean, you're running like almost a 4.2, low 4.3 40, 46-inch vertical. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, bro, people going, and you look like that. Be different if you just did that and you weren't attractive and all that. I'm like, they gonna hate you for just so you have to go out of your way to show people I'm a gentleman. I'm a blah blah blah.
I'm a family man.
In order to earn their respect from across the room. Number one, you know, they either loving you or hating you from across the room anyway. So,
yeah, it's a real thing, man. I mean, I know. The attention, see, I can relate with you with the attention stuff, because, you know, doing the modeling thing, doing the TV stuff and all this stuff, you just get attention. There was dudes that I never even talked to before, they're like, hey, man, let's go, I'm going to go buy you a car today because I want you to represent my dealership, you know, but I'm just going to give you whatever car you want. Just drive it around, you know what I mean? I'm like, well, first of all, if you're trying to fuck, I'm not into that. Not gonna happen. I don't care if all your cars are given to me.
I don't do this gay for pay.
Right. Yeah. So if it's that, it's not gonna happen. But you know, like legit, they just wanted to have some kind of finger on, like to say, hey, I know Paj. You know, he's actually one of my. You know, I sponsor him. You know what I mean? Or I know Tony. I sponsor him. You know what I mean? Like,
a Ford dealership gave me a Lightning for like 6 months.
See? That's what I'm saying. Like they just give you things, you know? And I remember, like, I never thought about any of that stuff, because when we were coming up in that world, there was no phones. There was no internet. No.
Well, you said something earlier about attention. And, you know, now with social media, like attention marketing is the new, like, currency. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
And I'm just like, wow, if we had had that like 15 years ago.
I'm glad, brother.
Wow.
I'm glad. Wow. None of this shit was around.
Wow.
During that era of my life.
Right.
Like, I'm really, really glad. And I also believe there's a reason it was not around 100%. During that time in my life. 100%. Because, man, it was already ridiculous with just no phones.
Right.
No internet.
No evidence.
No evidence at all. You know what I mean? Polaroids here and there, you know what I mean? That's it.
Exactly.
That's it. Yeah, shake it up. Yeah. That's it. But, you know, like now, man, I can't imagine being that wild and then having phones and shit. It'd be like, my phone would be on fire. I would have like a rotation on phones with Apple.
Like, yeah, we would have had to do like, what's the comedian? Makes you put up your phone.
Oh, Joe Rogan?
All of them.
I think they all do that. Dave Chappelle does that. Dave Chappelle does that. Yeah, because they're like, put your phone. You're at my show. Yeah, you don't need to be on your phone. Yeah. Put your phone up. You know what I mean? Which is legit. Like, you going to see Dave Chappelle, you're gonna be on your phone? What the fuck are you doing?
Well, I mean, that's one reason, but I think they, of course, because you have. If you have your phone in the show, you literally can broadcast the show.
Oh yeah.
And now you taking money out of his pocket.
Right.
So I'm sure that's the main reason.
Right.
But, you know, like back in the day, if we had just had random phones all the time. Like,
oh, yeah.
Oh, my.
Oh, man. I mean, even if there was a...
well, we had phones, but what I'm saying is like the smartphone with the 4K camera.
Yeah. This would be forget about it. Like I said, I'm glad. Yeah. I'm glad. I'm trying to forget half that shit. Like, half that shit, I'm like, no, I didn't do that.
You need to use it in the podcast.
Fuck, I did. Yeah, right. We'll be honest, always. We'll always be honest. You know what I mean? But I believe, though, we lived that life for a reason. And I think it might sound crazy, but I think we lived that era and we lived that way. So today, when we're doing this podcast, we can speak from experience of, 100%. You know, to maybe not everybody. Some people are going to be like, get the fuck out of here. And I get that. But there's going to be somebody out there that goes, oh, wait a minute, I'm going through that right now.
Well, the thing is, you know, I get messages all the time and people stopping me because you never know who's watching you. You know what I'm saying? Like at our gym, like I go to the gym, I train people and I train myself. So I go at different times. So I see different people at different times. Right. And it's people that I see in passing, I'll never say nothing to them. Now they're like, hey man, really like that podcast. You guys look good. I love what you're saying. You know, blah, blah, blah. You know, like people saying like, you know, I really need to hear that, or I struggle with that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's just really cool because that's the point. Yeah. That is the point.
That happened to me, man. Remember I called you right after? I was like, dude, I was like, I think it was a grocery store. Where was I? Something like that.
Yeah, it was a grocery store.
Right. And I'm like, dude, somebody came up to me and was like, hey, are you guys doing that podcast, Alpha Hour? I'm like, yeah. I was like, you watched it? He's like, yeah, I would love it. He's like, I can't, please don't ever stop.
Wow.
He was like, please don't ever stop making an episode. He's like, I get something every time I watch an episode.
Cool.
Yeah, I know. It was the coolest shit. I was like, oh.
Wow.
Man, that's cool. And then he was like, can I take a picture with you? I was like, yeah, you can take a picture with me. Like, I mean, cool. Like, you know, at Publix, we gave it to the bakery lady. We're like, can you take a picture? Like, I was like, you know, it was like, you know what I mean? It was, but you know, it was not, I don't expect to go to Publix and people come up to me and shit like that. Like, now, we've been there where you go somewhere and everybody knows you, you know who you're, and people want to take pictures. But you expect it at that time because that's what you're doing.
Oh no, I did expect it back then. I mean, well, sometimes I expect it, but other times when I'm in a foreign country that I've never been, I don't expect it.
Yeah, all of a sudden somebody comes up, hey, can I take, you know what I mean? Yeah. So that was really cool, man. I was like, oh yeah. So he connected with us on everything, you know, and he was like, yeah, please don't stop. He's like, I got 3 sons. And I'm making all 3 of them watch that shit.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, then we got to.
Yeah, we got to represent.
You know what I'm saying?
I was like,
and it's funny too that you say that about the sons. You know, being. So I've been through the teenagers, the 20s, the 30s, the 40s. Now I'm in the 50s, getting close to the 60s, right? And so all those phases, all those decades, something as a man, just different things start happening. You know what I'm saying? So in the 50s. Wow. Yeah. You fellas, you got to take care of yourself. In your 20s, teens, 20s, 30s, please, I'm serious. Because when you get in your 50s,
it's different.
Like, you just can't go get an oil change or a new tire. Shit, bro, things start falling apart. And it's toxin load and nutritional deficiencies.
Yep.
So you're, you know,
and hormonal deficiencies too. Yeah.
Well, that's what the toxin load and nutrition deficiencies is which causes the
hormones deficiency. Yeah.
You know, they say like, 25, your hormones, and you wonder because if you, like in the Bible, they was having babies in the hundreds when they was. So it's not the age on the clock. It's the things that start happening after your body's had enough time to consume all the nutrients that especially if you're not putting them back and build up all the toxins in your body. So by the time you get to your 20s and 30s, your 20s to your 40s is where you get all your toxins, because unless your parent, when you're kids, your parents buy you everything.
Right.
But when you start paying for your own stuff, you start putting in your body what you want in your body. Yeah. Well, by the time you get to 30, 40, now you've collected a lot of stuff, a lot of microbiome, all your wild days and all that type of stuff. Well, now all that microbiome, all that energy, toxins, all that stuff is inside your body now. So now your immune system's trying to put you in homeostasis. And when you get into your 40s, you have less power against it. And then now, like I say, now I'm in my 50s. I'm on a constant detox. I'm talking about not no 3 days, not no week, not no day. I'm talking about a constant detox. Yeah. Because now I understand. And I can tell the difference in my skin and my face and my everything if I get slack. My knees start cracking. It's just a cascade of things that happen. So now I'm super, super on my nutrition, even way more so than I was in bodybuilding. Bodybuilding was all about macros. Now it's all about micros. Okay. Because I still only eat once or twice a day. Yeah. Really once a day.
Me too. I eat like twice a day. But
so now I got to make sure I got all my micronutrients, and I also, like every morning I get up, I do lemon water with some salt in it. Now, some people say it doesn't do anything. Maybe not in a study, but on an individual basis. In other words, you probably can't say, well, medically this does this. But if think about it, you sleep 8 hours. So that's 8 hours of dehydration. While you're sleeping, your body's processing toxins in and out of your body. So when you wake up, now your body wants to eliminate those toxins. Well, how does your body eliminate toxins? Liquid. Through liquid. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So when you drink that, I drink 32 ounces warm lemon water, whole lemon, a couple pinches of salt, warm distilled water. Trying to get and
tell them why distilled. Tell them why distilled. Because
distilled has 0 parts per million. Right. Now I have a distiller, a big one. I can probably make 8 gallons a day. It takes like an hour and a half. Right. And I have one constantly going. And distilled water has no nothing in it. So now, if you drink distilled water, it pulls toxins out of your body with it. Now, if you listen to certain people, they say it pulls minerals out of your body because there's no minerals in it. Yes, it does, but it only pulls out the inorganic minerals, the ones that don't belong in your system. Right. You see what I'm saying? Right. So I don't drink distilled water.
So then pull it
without putting back the electrolytes. So I put the electrolytes back in there. Right. But the electrolytes are allowing the distilled water to collect the heavy metals and all the stuff. So I feel the benefit. And then I have my coffee. I drink, maybe another 32 ounces while I'm working out. I'm not a water freak. I don't drink gallons of water. But I try to get at least 3 liters in there because that's it's going to flush it out.
And you also listen to your body. So if you feel like even going through your whole regular regimen, if you have a day where you're still feeling dehydrated, you just drink more water.
Just drink more water. Right. And I like I say, I highly recommend the lemon and salt. Yeah. Again, if nothing else, I think it just allows your body to absorb the water better. Right.
Well, the salt, for sure it does. Yeah.
Because hydration is not the amount of water you drink. No. You know what I'm saying? It's got to get into the cell.
It's got to get in, So it's got to get in. You got
to have those minerals. Well, the minerals and vitamins and micronutrients have been taken out of the food supply. So if you're not manually seeking them and ingesting them, then you're deficient.
Yeah, I mean, there's people that have died from drinking too much water.
Oh, of course.
You know what I mean? Like it's not...
Drop dead from not having enough minerals. That's what I'm saying. Right. It's a balance.
Right, exactly.
Your body's always trying to be in balance.
Yeah, life is balance, man, isn't it? Life is balance. Like it's yin and yang. And it's so cool
dark and night. Light and, you know what I'm saying? Right. It is. No matter what, we have no choice. It's going to balance itself out.
Yeah. So you better just learn to listen and really follow what you like, because you have an inner thing, man, where you know you should go
Listen
to this road, and then you still go this fucking road, and then you're like, God damn it, why did I go this road? You know what I mean? But this road, beautiful.
Sometimes the road that you're supposed to take. Sometimes you can see the obstacles, and you don't want to deal with it.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. A lot of people avoid pain.
Yeah,
they avoid hard. We're coming up on New Year's. The New Year's resolution, folks, is about to be.
That'll last 2 weeks.
The reason why it lasts 2 weeks is because the mindset is the first thing you have to deal with, and you can't set your mindset on January 1st. The mindset has to be set already, and I would say right after Thanksgiving, because you just ate the biggest meal of the year until the next biggest meal of the year.
I know, right?
You know what I'm saying? And so you already got to be thinking, I need to lose whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna get bombarded with people, but I want to lose 50 pounds, right? So I'm gonna eat all these cookies and all this stuff, and then January 2nd, I'm gonna be in. You know what I'm saying? And then you go in there now. So this will happen. You go in there, and your mentality or your mind is, I got to lose 50 pounds. So you're looking all the way down there, right? And do you do that with anything in real life? When you're driving, when you're walking, the most important thing is what's right in front of you right now. All right, so it's January 1st or 2nd. My goal should be to make it to the 3rd, and then the 4th, and then the 5th. Yeah. Start with your mindset and your consistency. And don't do too much. Do a little bit. Try, try to be consistent for 30 days and then start working out hard. You know what I mean? If you go in the gym and start working out hard day one, that first week,
you'll be crippled.
You're gonna be hurting. Your body's gonna dump all those toxins. You're gonna
discourage yourself because you're gonna be like, this is too hard. You're gonna wreck your body and then try to go in again the next day.
And then when you feel like that, because most people don't work out because they don't feel like it. They say, I don't have enough time. Right. They say whatever, but they really just don't feel like it, right? Especially if they are out of shape, because whatever you do is going to suck. You know what I'm saying? And most of us want to win every time. So I always start people off with consistency. I have them push and pull the sled. Now everybody's gonna be on the sled, but push and pull the sled because it's easy. It's like a kid. You pushing your brother on the bike, you know what I'm saying? Like, so those muscles as adults, we really don't never use them anyway. So now you're gonna basically slowly get yourself in condition. I've been doing it for years, and I still get winded every single time. Like even now, you know what I'm saying? Even now to today. So I start them off with that, then circuit. Yeah. Then you could start so after the first 30 days is conditioning, consistency, conditioning, basically circuit training, and then I done made it through. Through
the fire.
The gym's emptying out again. I survived. I'm still here, and now going to your program. Yeah. If you have to lose 50 pounds, you should say, I need to lose 50 pounds before this end of this year, not end of this quarter.
Yeah, it's so crazy. So crazy. I remember like when I was doing personal training and I got that like first big gym job, I was doing like training and I had clients and stuff like that. I was like, man, it's going to be great. In January, getting all these new clients. Dude, half of those clients didn't even show up and I would just no-show charge them. I would call them. I'm like,
they didn't get their mind.
No, man. I would be like, what?
They come to the gym to pick up the result.
Right.
I need, okay. Okay. I ain't coming.
I need 10 pounds lost. Yeah. I mean, it was like that. And I would literally get on. I was actually more frustrated than anybody. I'm like, you told me on day one, you want to lose 50 pounds. I told you what it's going to take. You said, okay, you signed up to train with me.
And pay for it up front.
And you pay for it. I'm like, they're going to charge. So I was like, I've told this to many of those people. I was like, look, man, if you're not going to come in, I don't want to just charge you a no-show fee and then, collect money because I know because we talked. Right. I know how miserable you are. You told me.
Right.
You told me. So if anything, at least try to get your money back.
Right.
Get a refund. I'll fill in the slots with people that want to do it.
Right.
But, I'm like, I don't understand, this is the reason you haven't changed from last year's resolution to the years before resolution and so on. It's because you haven't made the switch.
Yeah. I never let people pay me, like 12, 15, 30.
Yeah.
Never.
Yeah.
Number one, I'm going to spend the money, and then now I got to deal with you for free, basically.
Right.
Number one.
Right.
But number two, I used to tell people, we're going to do a weekly commitment.
Yeah.
You're going to train 3 days a week. So every week is a new commitment. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because you're representing me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So when I want you to be consistent, because when you go to work or you go home, they're going to notice the results. And that's going to be good for my business. Mm-hmm. The people in here watching you, who've been watching you for 6 months, and now they see you getting in shape. And what's the difference maker?
Right.
Me training you.
Right.
My client, I got a client, she works for Kaiser.
Mm-hmm.
So she started with me. She had a nice figure, but I don't know if she considered herself overweight or what, but nice figure. Mm-hmm. And so I told her, I said, in a few months, your husband is gonna start acting different, right? He's gonna start asking you where you're going. You'd be like, I'm going to the mailbox. Leave me alone. You know what I'm saying? And so now she works for Kaiser, and she does a lot of Zoom.
Yeah.
So Zoom there, they got, you just seen them like this.
Yeah.
So they got people in all these different cities, and then they converge in conventions or wherever they meeting. So she said she went to this one convention the other day, and this whole group of ladies who she's been knowing forever and never seen them in person. Mm-hmm. They was just like looking at her like, wow, you know what I'm saying? Because everybody's hiding behind the Zoom screen.
Of course.
And she's like, my cousin challenged me to a contest. I'm like, what do you mean? She was like, she see how I'm getting in shape. So now she's like, now I'm ready to get, because she's not even really doing the diet.
Right.
She's just training.
Right.
She has good genetics. I said, girl, you do the diet.
Yeah. Forget about it.
Forget about it. Forget about it.
For sure.
So I'm excited to see where she goes. And all of my people get similar results is because it's art to me. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not trying to make them be ready to do quarter turns, but I'm looking at their physique. I got a guy who's a dentist, right? He's an oral surgeon. So he's all bent, hunched over
all the time.
all day working.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm training him to straighten himself out. Because if I don't, by the time he's my age, he's going to be hunchback. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's the type of stuff that I like to do for people, like meet them where they are and then give them what they want, even if they think they can't really have it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So as long as you're really willing to work for it, put forth the effort,
sometimes
it's available.
It helps for someone to see somebody that believes in them.
Yeah.
And it makes them believe in themselves. So you say to her, hey, listen, I know you can do this. I believe in you. Her confidence now goes, oh, well, if he's a professional.
Yep.
If he believes in me, why the hell should I not believe in myself? You know what I mean? Yep. And then everything changes, man. It's a switch, man. Everybody's got this switch. It's like, it's funny because, people always talk about abs, right? Mm-hmm. Everybody has abs.
Everybody.
You know what I mean? Everybody's got a six-pack.
They under there. They in there somewhere.
Right. Now, some people's are covered because they're not disciplined.
Yep.
And other people's are not covered. Right. And you're like, you see them. You see their abs. Yep. And people go, oh, well, that's just, this and that. I'm like, no, it's not. You have abs.
Right.
That could be you. Mm-hmm. But that guy or that girl is doing this, and this. You're not.
Yep. Or they're 17. No.
Yeah. Well, these days, man, some of those 17-year-olds.
Oh, no.
You can't see their abs either.
I don't even want to go on this subject.
Yeah.
Look at these girls with this surgery.
Yeah.
Back in the day, it was just boob jobs.
Yeah. When boobs came around.
Sometimes they do the chin implant, whatever.
Yeah.
But now you got girls in their 20s getting BBLs and tummy tuck. And I don't understand. Was that, we was talking about the dude who married this really hot chick. Mm-hmm. He was a really good looking dude. And then they had an ugly baby.
Oh.
And he was like, what the hell? Did you sleep with somebody else? And then they did a DNA or whatever. No, it was his kid. So then he saw pictures of her before.
Before all that, he goes, God damn it.
I was like, that's the type of stuff we deal with right now.
You can't cosmetically fix genetics.
You think somebody oh shoot. Right. Then they baby
you've been sleeping around like no,
like Urkel.
That's your wife, bro.
I was like, that's hilarious.
Okay, so I'm gonna we're gonna switch up just a little bit because this is a good friend of ours, mutual friend. You know what I mean? Close to us. He's going through some stuff where his situation, and I don't know, as soon as I say it, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But his situation is basically he's checking off everything that as a man you're supposed to do in a relationship. Taking care of the bills, the rent, the cars, whatever. He's living with a woman, and this woman is not doing her part. As far as, and before you guys freak the fuck out, I'm not saying like she has to wash the dishes and shit like that. Okay? But she's not doing. But she's not doing her part as far as being motivating, uplifting. You know, support system. Right? It's like almost like, well, yeah, of course he's got to do that. Right. You know what I mean?
Like roommate style.
He doesn't have to do it.
Right. I'm saying he getting like the roommate treatment.
Right. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, he doesn't. You understand? Like he's not obligated to do that.
Right.
You know, this is not even his wife.
Right.
Okay, but he's not even obligated to do that. He's doing it because he's kind, and he cares about you. That's why he's doing this and this and this and this, and also supporting her kids. Like now, you know, that part of it is difficult anyway, because, you know, when you don't have a biological child with somebody, there's difficulties there. You know what I mean? It just comes with the territory. I mean, it's just difficult. And so and I love the guy, and I know you love the guy too, but, you know, like for me to sit back and just be like, dude, you can't continue this. You know what I mean? It's been years and years and years, and nothing's changed. I was like, nothing's gonna change.
Right.
It's not gonna change. It's gonna keep getting worse. Yep. You know what I mean? And you know, it's to the point where they're not even on the same page future-wise. I'm like, so then, like, he's on a growth pattern. You know what I mean?
She's in a
and she's pattern. Like, cool, no, you go grow because you're just gonna keep feeding me more. Essentially, is what's going on. You know what I mean? Like, it's just really obvious. You know, when you sit out from the outside and you're looking in, and he'll talk to me about certain things, and I'm like, okay, I'll tell you what I would do. If I was me, I would stop it immediately. Because
you gotta set the boundaries. If you don't, then it's your fault. Well, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you set the boundaries and they still don't, then that's your answer.
Yeah, then it's on you. Then if you stick around, now she's not the problem, you're the problem. Because you could have been like, look, this is not going to work out for me. I'm going to go. So now, you know, he finally had a discussion with her, right? And she's playing it off like he's just going through her phase.
I'm not really laughing.
But I'm just saying, I'm like,
it's like typical, because you know how as a man you're already not encouraged to be sensitive and speak your heart and your feelings. Right. You're supposed to suck it up, buttercup.
Just deal with it.
And you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And when you do put yourself out there to get that kind of response.
Yeah, it's just like literally like I'm like
get patronized and, you know, they act right for a week or two and then go back.
Yeah. I mean, she's not even doing that.
No, I know. I'm just saying it's either or. It's either or.
Right, but you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, and he's still young. He's not an old guy. And I'm like, bro, you've given this many amount of years to this person, okay? You haven't done her wrong, right? I mean, you can be honest with me. You can tell me if you've done something wrong. Okay. You haven't done anything wrong. You've always been supportive of her and everything she wants to do. And it's not even like he's asking for anything outlandish in return.
Right.
You know what I mean? Right. It's just things that
sometimes you got to believe them the first time. You got to believe them when they tell you what they are. You got to believe them.
Yeah.
So, you know, now in this modern time, there's a format or a formula to become or being a high value man. Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's you could do some research and find out what's required, you know. Your daily habits, it's a list.
Discipline,
fit body, all that type of. If you check off all those boxes, I mean, you might not become a millionaire, but let's just say you got all the boxes except for the money part, right? So you're a high value man. You become a commodity because you know what I'm saying, like
100%.
And so that's what I encourage all men to do, especially, you know, talented, untalented, whatever, whoever you are, become the best person that you can be. And if you don't know what that is, look around because there's some dudes out there really crushing it.
Yep.
And I'm not even talking about the ones that's uber rich. I'm just saying, like, you know, guys like us. I mean, I'm saying, like, I'm not. I am. But what I'm saying is,
don't be humble.
I go home every day, every night to my family. I do housework. I cook for my family. I'm also the breadwinner. You know what I'm saying? Like, just be that entire man that you could admire, that you could look up to.
Yeah.
And then everything else will take care of itself.
I mean, listen.
Most women, if they see that, they're either going to respond and reciprocate or be worried about some other chick. And either keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's gonna, you're gonna get a result. Is the point of
100%. And like you said earlier, man, I mean, you got to pay attention because the answer is there. Yep. You know what I mean? The answer is there. So and you got to believe them the first time they show you, because that's it. And especially if it's a woman that's, you know, on the back end of life, you know, like us, like, you know, in their 40s or whatever, they're not gonna change.
It's just like the song, never trust a big butt and a smile. It's poison. You know what I'm saying? Like, so in other words, it's got to be deeper than that.
Rich, we need that on a T-shirt.
It's got to be deeper than that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, my woman, I love her essence, her spirit, she gets on my nerves. It's funny too, because we get on each other's nerves. But she's so hilarious. She makes me laugh. All that type of stuff. That, you know, like, it balances out. And I think if it wasn't some stuff that got on my nerves, then it wouldn't even, the good wouldn't be as good. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. Like, the fact that I have that range of you know what I'm saying? Like, it keeps it interesting. No, I mean, like, literally, we've been together for over 30, you know what I'm saying?
And not just that part, but how much you've been through during, you know what I mean? It's like, that's what I'm saying. It's like 300 years.
I know.
Do you know what I mean? It's like, it's a completely different thing. And I'm the same way with my wife, you know, like, we have, you know, arguments and little spats and stuff like that here, but it's not like, we don't, like, it's not gonna, like, break us up.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
It's just normal. Yep. We're different. We're completely different energies. Like, I'm masculine energy, she's feminine. You know what I mean? And then every once in a while, because before me, she was with a bunch of bitches, and not a bunch, but, you know, she was with some bitches, and so she'll every once in a while get a tendency to kind of try to test me. You know what I mean? I'm like, babe.
Yeah, I used to go through that.
So I don't even get upset anymore. I'm just like, baby. No.
I'm not that dude.
I'm not that guy. You know what I mean? And then it just stops. And she goes, okay, you know what I mean? It's like,
I'll just check it.
Yeah, I mean, you know, but that's the thing. And that's not in any way insulting her. You know what I mean? It's just like, I'm letting her know, I'm not that guy.
Well, it's not like they haven't heard it all before. Yeah. It's just they haven't seen it follow through before.
Right.
Oh, he's serious.
Right. Well, that's the thing, right? So they think, because she's seen it for many, many years now. But it's almost like there's still a little percentage somewhere that goes, well, you might revert. No, I'm not.
So I'll just say that.
I'm not.
So I'm the type of guy, I'm like all or nothing.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Yep. Like, I will stay in a holding pattern until I get my mind right before I go. I don't really like feeling my way through the dark. Yeah. Now, some things in life you have to. You know what I'm saying? Yep. Like, in other words, you just got to start, just got to go. But what I'm just telling you, I'm uncomfortable unless I assess the situation, because I want to be like a sniper. You know, I don't want to just spray the room. I want to be like a sniper. Yeah. You know, I'm a headshot type of guy. You know what I'm saying? So, and that takes assessment. It takes planning, takes all of that. Yep. And when my mind is right, my mentality is right, I'm way less hesitant. You know what I'm saying? Like, now I'm very confident in almost everything. You know, I put I just learned how to trade in like 2 months. Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and that's very, very intimidating. But now I can sit down in front of that computer.
You're doing a pattern now.
And I'm just like, wow, I actually understand what's going on. Yeah. I don't have it all the way down yet. Yeah. But what I'm saying is, that's how you got to be. Right. And with fitness, you know, I retired in 16. I literally stopped everything. And now it's back on. Yep. You know what I'm saying? Yep. And it's like I never stopped. And I'm like the way that I want to be, because I don't want to be 300 pounds no more. So I wasn't sure if I could retire from bodybuilding at 290 and then work out all the way down to 230. because because every time I tried, I would just blow back up to 260.
Yeah.
Go down 250.
Your body was so used to it. Yeah.
And so now I'm at the point where I'm 238, 240. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm holding it in the road. Now my body composition is now I'm just getting leaner, but I'm not exploding because I don't want to. And that's like it was kind of hard, like, because my body was ready to grow. I was squatting yesterday and my legs just blew up. Really? It just expanded. I almost hurt myself. Yeah. I haven't squatted ass to grass in 7 years, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, man, that's crazy. I had this guy message me. So we're essentially kind of becoming like a relationship thing. Well, remember, because we had that happen one other time. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, I put myself out there because I know a lot of guys are struggling with that. And to be honest with you, I think it was 2018 is when I repented and basically, I think I told you a story about I prayed to God to remove from my flesh all the stuff that was holding me back.
Yes.
Like physically, remove it from my flesh, because if you don't, I'm just going to be right back here. And to have physical things leave my body, those parasites and stuff, and see them and then feel different when they were gone. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, it's literally, that was a thing causing that.
Yeah.
And we think it's just emotions. I guarantee you, if you're promiscuous or you got habits that, you know what I'm saying, that control your life, because they say what you frequency is your frequency. Like, in other words, what you frequently see, what you do all the time, that's your frequency. If you do a lot of low frequency stuff, you're going to attract low frequency to yourself.
Right.
In order to be vibrate on high frequency, you literally have to remove that stuff from your flesh, and it's a spiritual thing. It's physical, but it's also spiritual, because that's how it got attached to you. Spirit, energy wise, you attracted it to you, and then it took hold, and now you got it. And now it's manipulating your thought process, your decision making, all that type of stuff.
So I'm gonna read this to you. His name is John. We'll just say that. Okay, he said, Paj and Toney, I appreciate what you guys are doing so much. You guys have taught me a lot already. I have a question for you guys. The question is, I'm in a marriage that's been failing for many, many years. I have 3 kids that are pretty much all grown, and I'm confused as to what I need to do. I'm not old. I'm 53 years old. My wife is 46 years old. And I believe she might be cheating on me. I don't have evidence of this, but something in my gut tells me there's something going on. Do you have any advice on what I should do? Should I trust my gut? Should I move on? Or should I work this out?
Definitely don't ignore your gut.
Yeah.
Because like I said earlier, God is within you. So the people that don't believe in God, it's too bad. God is within you. That's the whole point.
Right.
But you still have to want it and find it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you'll discover it. And so if he's trusting his gut, that's his divine nature telling him that something's wrong. Yeah. And it's probably her energy. Yeah. I'll tell you a story about energy, and then we'll go back to that question. When me and Kelly was out in Texas getting that all that stuff done, we went through. So one day, the lady who's running the whole thing, she hired a phlebotomist to come draw her blood. So the lady comes in the room, cute little girl, cute lady, whatever. So she starts talking about why she was late. She was late, like 3 hours late or something. And she was talking about how she was arguing with her boyfriend. And, just telling us her business, basically. So she comes in, and I got this weird feeling, energy, like she brought whatever that crap was that she was dealing with into that room. Right. And so I'm just like feeling kind of standoff. But I'm sitting there letting her do my blood. Now, you know how vascular I am. Yeah. It's not hard finding the vein. Goes to get veins. Right. So she stick the needle in my arm and wouldn't no blood come out.
What?
Right. I'm talking about she stuck me like, I don't know, 7 times.
In the vein?
Different. Yeah. Wouldn't no blood come out.
What?
And after the second time, I knew it was because my body didn't want her near me. Right. So I was like, this ain't going. I kept saying, this ain't going. She's like, I got it. I'm like, I'm telling you, this ain't gonna work. Finally, I'm like, ain't gonna work, right? So I said, Janita, you gonna have to come do this.
Yeah.
She walked across the room. Yeah. Janita came over there.
Right away.
Wow.
That's it.
So what I'm telling you, tell your homeboy, trust.
Well, you're telling them right now.
Yeah.
You're telling them.
Trust your gut. First, but work on yourself.
Yeah.
Because if she is doing something, it'll come out.
Yeah.
So if you focus, and like we had that talk this morning.
Yep.
Get up in the morning and have you like some kind of routine. Work out. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Do all that.
Sure.
What do they call them? They call them non-negotiables.
Non-negotiables. Yep.
Training, eating, all that type of stuff. Get you a list of non-negotiables and execute every day. By the time you get 20, 30, 40 days into that, she's gonna notice.
Yep.
And then even if she doesn't, if she is cheating, if she is doing something, then whatever made her want to be with you the first time is gonna start saying, hey, look what he doing. You know what I'm saying? And now you're gonna get your answer. She's either gonna come and confess because she said, this is the man I really want to be with. Because if she's looking elsewhere, she's blaming it on you.
Yeah, of course.
It's your fault.
Of course.
You don't, whatever, you don't pay attention. Whatever it is, they'll make up something or it's true. It's either true or they make up something.
Right.
Either way, it's your fault.
Right.
Like literally, I'm not saying they're blaming it on you. I'm telling you it's your, if you had her and you don't have her, it's your fault.
Yeah. So because we're only getting one side of the story,
100%.
right? So we don't know what her side is, but based on what we know, what I think is if he needs to look within himself and he sounds like he doesn't love her anymore. He sounds like
it happens.
He sounds like he's they had kids and that was their thing, the purpose of it, and then now they're it's time to.
I was just about. So he married her for love. You can't marry for love. You got to love the one you marry. But if you marry for love, it's going to be hard. I didn't marry for love. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, it has to be more than that. I didn't marry for looks. She looks good. I love her. She can cook, takes care of me, all that type of stuff. Sex was good, all that type of stuff. But it was her energy that made me want to be with her, even though I had options. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I really love about my woman is like her energy. She doesn't, especially now, she is running one of our businesses. So she's in her section of the house. I'm in my section of the house. And then we, you know what I'm saying? So, and it's not perfect.
No.
You know what I'm saying? And it's just so weird because I get frustrated every day. She said, you turning into a crotchety old man. I said, to be honest with you, you know what the problem is? Our entire relationship since 1992, I had never been sober. You know what I'm saying? Like for a few hours a day, but I used to be high every day, all day, every year, every month, every week, every year.
Wow. That's a lot of weed.
For
that's a lot of weed.
For decades.
Yeah.
And then I let it go.
Right.
And so it took a while. And then once I was, it happened really after COVID.
Oh, yeah.
So COVID, I was like 30 days And then so I just had this clarity that I've never had before. And I told my son and my wife, I was like, you guys have never met this version of me. You've never seen me not high, even if I didn't look like it, I was. You know what I'm saying? And so I had to conquer that in order to thrive and be successful or whatever. I'm not perfect, but that was the thing. And so now to be able to walk away from my bodybuilding addiction and all my other habits that I had, that was more than life-changing. You know what I'm saying? But I had to repent and I had to physically cleanse my temple.
Yeah.
You can't just do better. You can't just flip the switch. I ain't gonna do that no more. You have to cleanse the temple and then start anew. Period.
And well, I'll tell you, to this guy, I would also say, don't think like the grass is greener on the other side, because I think this, okay, with from what he's saying, if the feelings of wanting to be together is gone, Like, you know what I'm talking about, that feeling, right? Where you're like, everything else, but at the end of the day, I love spending that time with her. Mm-hmm. If that feeling is not there, then you're already done. Yeah. Now it's just you're being strung along on a contract that the government gives you.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like that's what it is. Yeah. You're if you were dating, you would have already left.
Right.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I think one, don't accuse her of cheating because you don't know, unless you know. Mm-hmm. You can talk to her and say, hey, listen, I feel like maybe something's going on.
I feel the distance between us.
Right. Or, I feel...
correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like,
this is how I feel. I don't know
what
why.
Do you mean?
Right, exactly.
Like,
I feel like you may be seeing somebody else. I'm not trying
to... Or just is there.
Yeah,
just actually straight up.
I'm just saying, like, depending on how the woman is. Because if she's like crazy, she's quick to jump on you, then you got to... Okay, let's be in the lake, not the ocean.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
And so, ask her, because the way she reacts will say everything, right? If you say, listen, I feel like this in my gut, I have a bad, it's probably because we're not communicating good, but in my gut, I feel like maybe you're seeing somebody else. If she loses her fucking mind and starts yelling at you and throwing shit and stuff like that, then that's your answer.
She'll be, what's his name, John? She'll be like, Tom, I told you.
Yeah, Tom, I told you. Right, exactly. And that's what I'm saying. Like, and I'm like, if she's calm and says, look, I get it. I understand why you feel like that. We have been distant. And this and this and this and this. Mm-hmm. Let's try to spend more time together. You'd be like, oh, okay, maybe there isn't somebody else. Right. Maybe it's just she's so distant and I'm over here thinking she's cheating that she's basically going off of my energy. Yeah. And it's creating distance even more. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like you have to, and my advice to anybody who's in a situation where they don't know something, like go over there and communicate. Right. Like ask. Right. You know what I mean? Like communicate that. If their reaction is to jump all over you, that means most likely the answer is yes, negatively. Mm-hmm. And if they, agree with you and they're in the same boat, maybe she's not. Maybe she feels the same way about you.
So if she reacts instead of respond?
Right. Yeah. You can't, because you respond. If you're, like, if somebody comes to me and say, hey, Paj, you're a liar. Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. What did I lie about? All right. Oh, you lied about this. Okay, cool. Where did you hear that? I'm not.
That would be awesome if people called you a liar and told you what you lied about.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
They just call you a liar.
Yeah.
And then stop.
You know
what I'm saying?
What did I lie about?
Or they... That's not true.
I don't.
Okay, follow that with what is true then. People are a trip. I trip out on social media and comment sections.
Oh, yeah.
There's a post about something.
Yeah.
And then if that person doesn't agree with it, they just say, that's bullshit.
Yeah.
Okay, well then
why is it bullshit?
It's bullshit because.
Because of why?
Like
is it bullshit just because I'm saying it? Or is it bullshit because it's bullshit?
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, wait a minute, bro.
Yeah.
Like, give us something. Like, speak on it.
Man, it's crazy because, we were talking about communication between us earlier today.
Yes.
And that's communication, whether it's a friendship, or a relationship. It's everything.
It's more than just talking.
It's everything. No.
It's actually understanding what's going on.
Right.
Asking the right questions.
Right.
Having empathy for the other person's situation.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Not just looking from one side.
That's how you communicate. Right. That's how you get it done.
Right.
I'm so glad that we had that communication.
Me too. We grew.
We
grew, man.
Just like, I'm like, cool. Because honestly, I was riding around in my car talking to myself.
Yeah.
Pretending I was talking to you.
Right. We did a whole podcast on the way to the podcast studio, man.
I'm sitting in the car talking like you listening.
Yeah, I was like, if Chase was here right now, he'd be like, no, don't talk. Let me get the camera. You know what I mean?
Funny.
Yeah.
So remember the other day you called me and we did FaceTime?
Yeah.
We should have did that today.
Oh, we should have. Fuck, man. Chase, we'll film it, though. If we FaceTime, I'll use my other phone and film it.
We got deep today.
Yeah.
On the way here, and I'm just like, man, we should have.
We were so hyped when we did that first episode.
Yeah.
We were so hyped. It was a good time, man. But I mean, like after we had that talk, I was like, man, communication in life is everything. Because you could just get so much more done and you could grow. Yeah, which you just grow so much because now everybody's understands the details, not like, because before we had that conversation, we didn't, like, we had, it was kind of like this, right?
Yep.
Now it's like,
not the I's and cross the
it's
T's.
like, here it is, you know what I mean? And I'm glad we did that, because, I mean, I needed it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I know you needed it, but it was good because, like, the workout thing is huge.
I really, you know, again, it's been 7 years since I've been on a regimen.
Yeah.
Right. So in order to get on a regimen, stay on a regimen, it has to be non-negotiable.
Right.
You can't let anyone, how you feel,
circumstances,
it's non-negotiable.
Right.
I have to go do this. It's a part of the mechanism.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It's like, when I do this, I do this. Mm-hmm. If I miss this, it's like dominoes. Everything else is going to be jacked up.
Yep.
So I have a small list of non-negotiables, and it's expanding because I'm not going to try to overload myself.
Right.
And if I could just be consistent in my training, because you know, my diet, I just want to make sure my nutrients is right. I'm not really trying to carbs, no carbs, all that type of stuff. It's, you know, adequate protein, quality protein. I still love pizza. You know,
Pizza's
I don't.
great.
To be honest with you, the only time I go to the restaurant is with y'all.
Yeah.
All my other meals I cook myself.
It's at home, yeah.
And sometimes when Kelly has bowling night, she brings home Chipotle. Other than that, I cook everything that I eat.
We don't eat bad though when we go out.
No,
we go
I'm
nice
just
places.
saying. I'm just saying.
We eat good food.
But that's one of my non-negotiables.
Yeah.
I have to eat high quality food.
Right.
Because I've already been deficient while I was eating high quality food.
Yeah.
So if I'm not eating high quality food, I have no chance.
It's a wrap, yeah.
I have no chance.
Yep.
So training requires nutrients, not macros. Macros is everywhere. You have, you know, I'm 240. I have at least 25 pounds of fat, if not more. Right? So
it's a lot of macros.
10 pounds of fat is 35,000 calories. So if I got 30 pounds of fat, we're talking 100,000 calories available for energy. You know what I'm saying?
You got plenty.
So I don't need more macros, more protein, carbs, and fat. I need micros, and then I need to force my body to utilize what. I'm in the process of turning over my flesh. You know what I'm saying? Like eating whatever. You know, now I'm starting to put the right foods back in, and it's going to take a while to a lot of those. All those omegas, all those seed oils and all that type of stuff to burns out of my body. Yeah. So it's going to take a minute.
Yeah, it's going to take a minute for sure. But, you know, like for me, the workout, you know, I'm like you, man. I've worked out my whole life since I was little. You know what I mean? Since I was 5 years old, I was in the gym. And the first time in my life where I haven't been consistent with my workouts, with my training, right? And it's because, you know, I mean, the businesses have been kept on growing, and it's just, and I got caught up in just hitting everything I hit, right? And I'm like, all right, tomorrow I'll go to the gym at this time, whatever, and then I'll get four phone calls set up, you know, conference calls and this and that from California and this and that. And, you know, our business is, you know, coast to coast. So, you know, on the coast, you know what I mean? It's 3 hours. So it's like, you know, so I got caught up in that whole thing. And then after we had a talk, I just sent a message to everybody I deal with. And I said, look, here's the deal. I'm available after 10 o'clock in the morning. Before that, I'm not going to be available. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get up, I'm going to go to the gym, and get my workout in, knock all that out, and then we'll start my day.
The other day, I went to the gym. I didn't even work out. I just wanted to show up. You know what I'm saying? I went in there and just, you know what I'm saying, to keep that streak going. I didn't even have time to work out. I think I did like 7 sets of chest and left. My wife was like, wow, that was quick. I'm like, I just had to go. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't have time to get
up, leave the house.
I just had to go.
I mean, those are movements, man. Like getting up from the house, going to your car, driving to the place, going through traffic. And you know how much we fucking hate traffic. But, you know, going just to go over there to work out for 30, 45 minutes. Even if you go in there to work out.
I literally 45 did 7 sets of chest.
There you go. That's what I'm saying. Like
literally.
15-minute workout.
It was like 20 minutes. Right. And I was out. And I stretched.
She's like, where did you go?
But my consistency right now is more important than how much time and all that type of stuff.
Right. And you felt great, even with that.
My chest was sore for 2 days. I mean, it was crazy.
Sometimes those short ones are the best workouts, man. It's weird. You know what I mean? You're just like, because your mind muscle connection is so crazy.
It really is.
Because you literally went to just show up.
My client, well, I'm coaching her. She trains with me. She's just like in awe. She's like, your mechanics is just ridiculous. I'm like, you don't even understand. When I tore my pec, I had to. Well, first of all, I tore my pec and then I didn't work out. I quit training in '96, so I tore it in '95. Quit training in '96 altogether.
You didn't train at all.
No, I didn't go inside the gym for 3.5 years.
Wow.
So when I finally went back in the gym, started working out, I was going to physical therapy. I was going to.
But not a gym.
Never not working out, just physical therapy for the pec. That's it.
Right.
And now that I'm back in the gym, I had to learn really how to connect with my muscles on every group, because I went from being able to bench 400 pounds to not even being able to do the bar without feeling. It felt weird. You know what I'm saying?
Felt like something else was gonna pop, right?
Yeah, but even to this day, I mean, think about it. I tore my pec August 1st, 1995. So you know how many days that's been? And there's not been one day that I didn't assess it or massage it or flex it to see if it's, you know what I'm saying? Like,
does it feel weaker?
Now it's just
like when you do bench press. Are you?
I have no problems now. I have to train according to this side's ability.
Yeah.
But for some reason now, it's almost even strength wise.
Okay.
It's just it's connected.
Yeah.
It's just the fact that it was disconnected for 4.5 years,
and
then so it's not one. You know what I'm saying?
It's not the same.
I remember. So and then I know I've taken off 6 years. So when I was competing, I almost got to the point where if I could pump it up and you almost couldn't even see it. So that's slowly coming back, because really it's atrophy. The fibers or the.
Have you tried the BPC right into it?
Yeah.
Did that help at all?
It did, but like I say, now, first of all, like I said, working on my consistency.
Right.
Now I'm doing massage. I'm doing gun. I'm doing what do you call it? I forgot the name of the little things where you scrape the fascia.
Oh yeah, the fascia scraper or whatever.
Manipulation.
Yeah.
So and slowly but surely it's filling back out again. I think that the doctor connected it all the way. I'll tell you. So you know how when you first get surgery, they put you in the sling.
In the little sling, yeah.
So he said you need to wear the sling for 3 weeks. Right. So I don't know, a weekend.
You took it off.
I'm feeling normal. I didn't take it off. I'm wearing it. But one of my clients went back to training my clients, so I'm training them with one hand basically. And so one of my clients, she had a huge ranch and a nice pond with some big giant bass in it.
Oh no!
So I go out there fishing.
You love fishing.
Cast.
You love fishing.
I'm casting and reeling, casting and reeling
from the hip.
And then I actually caught a fish and I did like this, and I felt something in my chest. I was like,
oh no!
I didn't do nothing.
Oh no!
And so up until that point, my range of motion was about right here.
Yeah.
Well, the next day after I did that, the range of motion was like this.
Oh.
So I just assumed that I did something, like I separated it.
You fucked it up,
So I went to the doctor. He said, no, it's still there. But like I say, I just think 5 years of atrophy.
Yeah.
And then, it's been, 30 years now. 29. Wow. Damn. 29 years now. Yeah.
That's crazy.
So it doesn't mess with me anymore.
Yeah.
The only thing that, that woulda, shoulda, coulda, I just really would have loved to see what my physique would have looked like without it. Especially now I'm seeing these old videos.
Oh yeah.
Of before.
Oh yeah.
So I'm just like, wow, I could have. Yeah. But I mean, I had a great career and I still.
Yeah, I mean,
did a good job. But like I say, but you know what though, I probably would have never developed the mind muscle connection that I have right now.
You know what's so cool is legitimately you're one of the best to ever do it. I mean, legit. I'm not just saying that because I love you, but I'm just saying, like, if I didn't know you,
respectfully and humbly, I feel the same way.
I'm just saying, like, I would put you in that category, like one of the greatest ever to do it, because you did it different. Yeah, there's been a lot of great bodybuilders, but the ones that stand out, they did something different. Yeah. Tom Platz, he did something. His leg thing was different. You know what I mean? Like nobody was like that ever. Like Arnold was different. Yeah. Frank
Wheeler, Ronnie
Flex,
Coleman.
Franco, Jay. That whole group, you did something different other than just getting in crazy good shape and getting on and doing the thing. They did something different. You know what I mean?
They were all good guys too.
And you could see, man, from the comments on our Instagram and stuff like that, when we do a reel and you're splitting knowledge about stuff, you could see where people agree with that. You know what I mean? They're like, Tony's, because it's like you're wiser than just bodybuilding.
Yes.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Most bodybuilders are wise.
Yeah, that's one of the things people used to apologize because they, you assume that someone, 305 pounds, shredded, blah, blah, blah. They're a meathead.
Yeah, he's a meathead.
It has to be.
He don't know what 2 + 2 is. Yeah.
Like, then when you get, eloquent and intellectual, it's just like they ain't ready for this. Like,
you read
circuit.
books?
You know what I'm saying?
I read books, motherfucker.
Like my client the other day.
I don't watch books.
He was like, I saw the video you made on Thanksgiving. I was like, man, you really, I'm just like, I was like, dude, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like he noticed, and he's not into bodybuilding at all, but he just was shocked that like you have charisma, blah, 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 blah. I'm
Dude,
like,
it's the same way they look at fighters, man. They think fighters are just a bunch of meatheads. Yeah. You get punched in the head, they get all punchy and shit like that. Yeah. But when I bring my boys on here, world-class professional fighters fought all over the world, UFC, Pride, everything. And you speak to them, they're like intelligent as fuck. Yeah. Because when you're doing something like that, you have to be intelligent.
What?
You can't.
You ever see those boxers like Mayweather? There's a couple other, and I'm not good with names, but I watched this video the other day where this guy, he wasn't throwing the punches. Yeah. It was all defense.
Yeah. He's shelling her.
It was crazy how he, and then he just threw one punch. So other dude threw a combination. He's like, that, bah. I was just
counter.
Just like, wow, that's skill, bro. That's just straight skill.
Mayweather's great at that. He's a great counter puncher. You know what I mean? Like the reason he's undefeated is because they can't get hit.
I never forget.
You can't get hit.
Who was that?
You're gonna always win.
Ricky Hatton.
Oh yeah, Ricky. Yeah.
Who Ricky Hatton? Was it Mayweather? Who was it?
Oh, when he got knocked out?
When Ricky Hatton got knocked out.
Well, he got knocked out by Mayweather and somebody else. Mayweather check hooked him.
Well,
hit him with a check hook and
the point is, his game plan was to not let up.
Mm-hmm. To go forward,
yeah. Right? Yeah. And he threw I remember one round he threw like 50-something punches and didn't land
anything, yeah.
I said, unless you got a heart of a rabbit, another can keep beat, you're going to wear out eventually. It took him like 9 rounds, but eventually he just couldn't swing no more.
You can't fight Mayweather like that. Yeah. You can't. You have to be smart as a mother. Like, you have to go fight Mayweather like it's a chess match, not a checkers match. Yeah. He was fighting him like he was playing checkers.
Yeah. He was trying to chop the tree down fast.
Yeah. And Mayweather is playing chess. Yeah. He's like, all right, I'm 7 moves ahead of you already. Yeah. I'm going to get you.
As soon as he said, I'm just going to keep, as soon as he announced his strategy, I'm like, oh.
Well, people hate on Mayweather, you know what I mean? Because, he's got two sides to his following, right? He's got the group that wants to see him lose. Yeah. And he's got the group that's loyal to him and appreciates if he's not the greatest ever, he's definitely one of the greatest ever. Yeah. You know what I mean? I mean, Muhammad Ali is probably always going to be the greatest ever just because what he's done, not just in boxing, but in the world. I was
about to say, his off the stage is what made him the greatest.
Yeah, but that's what...
I mean, he delivered in the ring, don't get me wrong, but I'm saying, like, there was a lot of great fighters in the ring.
Right.
But what he did outside the ring is what made him.
He left a stamp on the world. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. And you look at the greatest ever, and then you listen to them speak, and you're like, these guys are smart. Mm-hmm. These are not dummies. You know what I mean? And you do that with everything. Yep. Even in football, you listen to somebody who's one of the greatest ever. And you listen to them speak, and you're like, oh. Okay, this is knowledge coming back to me. You know what I mean?
In order to be great, I think you got to be coachable.
Yes.
And like, I don't think you're born with the skill. Like, like Mike Tyson, Customato. Yeah. He was an animal when he met Customato. Oh, yeah. Customato taught him how to control his rage.
Harness it.
You know what I'm saying? And learn. And now he sounds like a genius. When you sometimes listen to him talk, you're like,
Mike,
what did he say?
Mike has so many quotes.
Yeah.
He's got so many quotes, and then they're good quotes. They're the ones that you go, holy shit, I didn't think about that, man.
You see, he got interviewed by Charmin or whatever.
Yeah.
And he was trying to talk. He asked him how many kids he got, like
four
or five times. And he was like, I have millions or something like that. Yeah. And Mike was like, oh, that was quick. Like, it was just funny how he said the exact right thing.
Right.
It was hilarious. He's just
Mike's a special guy. He's another one that's like, he left a stamp on the world, man. I mean, and that whole circle of people that perform at a certain level, you know what I mean? They have to be like chess players. They have to be smart people, you know what I mean? To be able to get to a certain level, you have to be smart. Yep. It's not coincidence. There's a lot of people that have come up with talent and they just drop off. You never hear about them again. You know what I mean? In every sport.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Every walk of life.
Every walk of life. Yeah. So the other day somebody was asking me about you and I was like, yeah. And he's like, do you consider him one of the greatest? I was like, 100%. I was like, look at his fucking resume. Look how long he did it. And go back and look at how he looked consistently through injuries, through everything. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, that's 100%.
When I got introduced to bodybuilding, there were set, standards and requirements. Mm-hmm. Not in the competition world. I'm talking about in the bodybuilding part, because I tell people competing is not bodybuilding. The bodybuilding part of it. Mm-hmm. And so, number one, it's an art form. It has, you have to be muscular, size, muscularity, definition, symmetry, all those
conditioning,
things.
Yeah.
All those things.
Yeah.
And so I just focus on having all those things.
Mm-hmm.
Even at my 199 pounds. You know what I'm saying? Like, I used to beat guys way more muscular than me. Mm-hmm. Way more, one of those things they had over me. Mm-hmm. But I had the other four over there. Right. And that's how I was able to, do what I did. And coming into being a pro, I turned pro at 249. Mm-hmm. And at the time, Dorian was Mr. Olympia.
Mm-hmm. Was it 300 pounds?
No, I take that back. Ronnie Coleman was Mr. Olympia.
Was he?
Ronnie Coleman was Mr. Olympia. So, but Dorian had already set the standard of, you got to get up to 300.
Oh, you got to be.
So, my first little spread, they was like, well, he's too small. He's going to have to be 300. And I was just like, why I got to be 300?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But then, 4 years into it, 3 years into it, I meet Anthony Aponte. I'm like 280, I get to his house, I'm 284. And that joker took me to 312, 315, and I was just like, wow, I never thought I could be that. And I was leaner.
Yeah.
I was actually improved, conditioning and everything. I was just like, I thought I was doing something.
Yeah. It's because, it's what you did, man, is special in its own way. Do you know what I mean? Like, what you did was special. Like, it's not just that you competed and you got to that highest level when they said, hey, you should never even fucking do it.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's part of it, right? So you proved everybody wrong. All those people that were like, oh, you should never do it. You're 6'2", you're too skinny, blah, blah, blah. You're never going to have legs, bro. Like, literally...
Everything they said I couldn't do.
The leg transformation is always, blows my mind because of where you start. And you're a testament to anybody can, if they put their all in, they can have legs. Do you know what I mean? Because when you look at that before picture, if you haven't seen it, go on. It's on your Instagram, right?
Probably.
Yeah, go on.
18.
Yeah. If you go on there and you see him at 18. So you see, the structure, some 18-year-olds look like Michael Hearn. Yeah. When he was 18, he already looked like a grown-ass man. Yeah. Or
I was trying to be DeBarge when I was 18. just wrap your head around.
Legit. You know what I mean? Like, you went from that to 300 pounds, shredded. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's a completely different level of the game. I mean, what you did is amazing, man. I don't know if you ever think of that kind of stuff, but all this came out because a friend of mine was talking to me about the podcast, and he was like, you think he works out and stuff like that, so he knows the industry and all that, the bodybuilders. And he was like, yeah, do you think I'm like 100%? I'm like, look, think about what he's done. Why, would you put him in that category? You know what I mean? Then he goes, no, you're right. I mean, it makes sense because. What he did. I'm like, what he did was different.
I did make a mark You know, hopefully it wasn't a skid mark, but I mean.
No, that wasn't. Depends who you ask.
Right, exactly.
Depends who you ask.
So we're looking at what's on the internet now.
Oh, this is Floyd Mayweather?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That was it. Yep.
So he knocks him out with a check hook is what it knocks him out with. And it's like the
what I remember about that
cleanest.
fight the most is how relentless he was swinging.
Well, he thought.
He wasn't hitting.
Right.
But just how.
Well, what his mentality was like, I'm going to go in here and I'm going to land. All I need to do is land one. Yeah. So I'm going to throw 1,000. Yeah. And then I'm going to land that one and I'm going to knock him out. Mm-hmm. The funny thing is, like right here, see, even like when he, go back to that. Look, he's trying to be rough with him. You know, he's trying to be on top of him. He's trying to hit him. See, he just fell out. That was just off balance. Yeah. It wasn't like, you know, people get excited because they want to see Mayweather look.
He didn't give him no space.
No, he was like nonstop, just going forward, trying to land one. That was his only goal was, I just need to land one and I'll knock him out.
Right.
You know? And the funniest part of that whole fight is that not only did he not land anything like that, but he got knocked out by the prettiest check hook you ever seen in your life. Fast forward this, Rich, to where he knocks him out. And you can see the setup is like, man, I'm like Mayweather is so good, man. He's so good at what he does. But you know, his uncle and his dad were fucking great fighters.
Yeah.
Like some of the best.
Yeah.
Some of the best.
So my really good friend was my manager named EJ. He used to be in Floyd's camp.
Yeah.
And he used to tell me how how he used to train for like 8 hours.
Oh yeah.
And so EJ was training this girl for boxing.
Yeah.
She's from Africa, I think.
Look at this. Look at this right here. Go back. So this is not the one that put him away, but look, he's already so he basically found his timing. See that?
He walked right into that.
So look, he hit him with a check hook. So that was a check hook, okay, and he knocked him down. He knocks him out flat with the same punch. So now he's got his timing. He knows exactly what he's gonna.
Dance.
Yeah. Now he's trying to just get a hold of him.
Oh. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Look, that's it, son.
Timber.
That's it, son. And they threw in the towel.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he's another guy. He just would get up in the middle of the night and go run 10 miles. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, that's why he's so good. Yeah. I'm like, you guys are hating on this guy?
Well,
fucking crazy, man.
I think people look at how he is with money, but what they don't understand is he has to blow that.
Yeah.
The money that he's messing around with.
Taxes.
He has to blow it.
Yeah.
That's what people don't understand.
Yeah.
All this money over here forces him to blow this money right here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's why he's buying watches and planes and yachts.
And so I learned about that from this guy in network marketing. He was making $400 and something thousand a month, right? Mm-hmm. And he was like, I have to show lifestyle, or I have to write a bigger check
to the IRS.
Yeah,
right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm like, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing like Trump says. You know, the tax code is set up to where you create industry, you help the economy, you set up a bit, you do these things, and that's how you get tax breaks. That's why I always tell people, you have a 9-to-5 job, it pays you X amount, W-2, whatever. Start you a side business. Right? Even if it's not making money, you still get the benefits. You have to file the tax, all that type of stuff, but you get the benefits to offset this money. You let them take that money out of your check. Now they got to give you a bigger return because of your losses over here. Yeah, but they don't teach that in school, man. You know what I mean? Like they don't teach. We teach it here. But you could, you could get a LLC and just say Uber, and never pick up nobody.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, you probably would want to because you make money, but you know what I'm saying? Like, your business is, you don't have to make money to get.
You don't have to go stand in the office somewhere, and for sure, man. Well, look, just to close this out, what is your advice to our friend that's going through that?
Number one, start.
Not John, our friend.
Well, start from within. Like I say, check yourself first, and once you check yourself. Right? Because when you check yourself, you're probably going to have, and you make that list of non-negotiables and you execute, then you've done your part. After that, everything else will take care of itself. I truly believe that. So, because a lot of people, when you raise your frequency, It's like nails on the chalkboard to somebody that's on the lower frequency.
Right.
So it's going to be a clash energetically.
Okay.
And so when you raise your frequency, they have no choice. They're either going to flee or they're going to comply.
So what if you don't want them to comply and you want them to flee, but they're still not fleeing?
Or you might have to kick them out. You create the boundary. I mean, to be honest with you, I used to admire people who could actually leave somebody high and dry when they felt like that. You know what I'm saying? Because I could never just leave. You know what I'm saying? I have to do stuff amicably. You know what I'm saying? Because I know I'm going to see you again somewhere. You know what I mean?
But there's also no reason to be like that.
So if you're not legally bound, right? You ain't got no bank accounts together, no cars together, no kids together, all that. You set your standard. If you saying I'm saying, you know, because you get to a point, right, after so long, you're just like, I don't want this anymore. But the worst part is that she thinks you're just going through a phase. Like it's your time in a month. Go through a phase over there.
That's what I'm saying. It's your time in a month. You'll be okay in a few days. You know what I mean? Wow. That's essentially what's going on. It's like, so my advice was, dude, you have to take initiative. Yeah. And I was like, look, if it was me, you know, obviously, like you said, amicably, I'd be like, look, I'm going to get you an apartment. I'll pay for the first month. I'll give you this, you know, I'll get you on your feet, but we can't live under the same roof anymore.
I was just about to say, if you're cohabitating, in the short term, it's not a lot you can do. Yeah. But if you're already in that type of thing, you're already separated space-wise.
Yeah, you're just in the same under the same roof.
If you're over here taking care of your non-negotiables, working on yourself, and then this person is noticing your frequency is rising, theirs is staying the same or getting lower. Yeah. When you get to the point where you're ready to flick them off like a booger, it'll be way easier. Yeah. But if you're struggling emotionally and all that, you ain't got your shit together, then they can cry, you know, make up sex or something, and then you right back.
Back to the beginning, and then it's the same shit 2 days later. Yeah.
He's really serious. Right. Now we back in.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Well, my brother, it's been fun. We're what episode? 16? No? 16. We just wrapped 16. You know, and we were talking about earlier how it's been 6 weeks. And we just fucking, man. And all these doors that are opening, so we got all this cool stuff coming up. And I'm excited, man. I'm trying to be calm and excited, but sometimes I just go outside and yell sometimes. My neighbors probably think I'm crazy.
I wake up every day in an attitude of gratitude and just hit the ground running. Yeah. It's like crazy because, you know, I remember being a bodybuilder, being huge. It would take me a minute to get up and, man, now I just, bam, I hit the floor. I'm
cruising.
Go, bro. It's like mentally, I'm already awake and ready to roll. And it just wasn't like that. But now, because I realize I'm getting these toxins out of my body. I used to wake up with my face all swollen and all that. I'm like, the detox is.
You're operating at a different length, different wavelength. You know what I mean? And the same with me. But the cool thing is, though, that our whole group is at this wavelength.
Time to elevate, bro.
You know what I mean? Like and that's the best part of this whole thing is that we're growing all together. Like, you mean? Yes. So, thank you guys for watching. Make sure you go buy some merch. Rich, we got some new stuff coming up.
Yes, we do. We got some t-shirts, some tank tops, some mugs.
There you go. Ooh. Make some undies. We talked about that. Special undies.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we got a bunch of stuff in the pipeline. Check us out on all the different platforms. Go to the alphahour.com. Is that even? Is it live? Okay. Yeah, go on there. All the links. Yeah, okay.
We just getting started, but we rolling.
Yeah. So all of that is all the links are on there. What the fuck is this?
New Year's.
Is this two girls fighting a dude?
Oh yeah. By the time this airs,
this got to be in Russia.
Be 2025.
Yeah. So it's where?
Vegas.
This is Oh, it is Vegas. I was like, this has to. Oh my God! What the fuck?
They're basically proving that gender equality
is
not a thing.
It's not a real thing. Look, this lady.
Not a thing.
She's like,
they found the most out of shape, unskilled person.
Yeah.
And they can't even
2-on-1. They can't survive. Yeah. Look, he's just chilling. He's like, come over here. I'll sit on you. All right, guys. Hey, love you. We might put a little snippet of what we're watching on our story, just so you know what the fuck we're talking about.
Someone said equal rights and lefts.
Equal rights and lefts. I love it. Equal rights and lefts. Hey, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year,
Merry
brother.
Christmas to you guys too. I love you guys. Chase, man, my boy Chase. We got little man in the house.
What's his name? Leo. What's his middle name?
Vincent.
Leo Vincent. And what's the last name?
LV.
Yeah, LV, baby. LV. There you go. We won't say his last name because we don't want weirdos trying to fucking trying to
Find me.
Hey, listen, Lil Leo's got more. He's got a bunch of uncles, and we all strapped. We all strapped. So watch out.
Wasn't a girl.
Well, bazooka. That's it. Love you guys. Happy New Year. Merry Christmas. Hey.